Well, welcome back to the cottage farmstead. We are down in the basement yet again. This room, however, you probably haven't seen before on camera. Most of this room is utilized by Growing Green Family Farms as their seed starting comes through here. I plant seeds outside and we bring them down here into our basement when it's chilly outside so they can germinate, and then we put them under grow lights before we move them back outside to our propagation house to harden them off.
So last year when we were starting our tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, and summer squash, we found that our basement temperatures were a little bit too cold for those to germinate properly. What should have taken 7 to 10 days ended up taking, in some cases, almost 5 weeks. And we didn't want to repeat that this year, so we did some research and found some very inexpensive ways to create a germination chamber without having to take too much money or time out of pocket. So one thing we found was this device here, which you can hook up any type of heating source. For what we are doing, we are just simply putting a light bulb in a cooler. And this regulates the temperature with a thermostat, which has a probe in here, just to ensure that it's staying within our optimal range. It is technically for reptiles, but it works great for veggies as well. So at Growing Green Family Farms, we transport a lot of produce to the farmers market in these coolers. This time of year where we don't have the farmers market going on, they were available. And they ended up working out perfectly for this because you want to insulate the thermal mass of air that you're having your transplants in without having to heat the whole basement, which would be quite astronomical. So these were surplus for this season. And as you can see, we have beautiful germination of these peppers already. These were planted on 2/18. And today is the 27th. So we have excellent germination. They're already about 1.5 inches tall in about 9 days, which is far better than last year. So this is simply a shroud for the light bulb. You want to make sure that you're not using an LED light bulb. This is an incandescent, which uses 25 watts. We found that to be sufficient for a cooler of this size, which has about 4 flat spaces available in it. The shroud just basically keeps it off the plastic so that the plastic does not melt. And, I mean, you can see I can touch it. It keeps everything around it nice and cool, while yet being able to have that heat accessible for the cooler. So when we put the flats into the cooler, we like to use humidity lids here. You can find these at Greenhouse Megastore, but we'll link it below. And what it does is it enables us to stack multiple on top, because this has some good tension strength, especially on the corners, and enables you to put about 4 trays without compromising the plastic lid. That holds the humidity in that we need, which the higher the humidity, the better with getting seeds to germinate. And just with having that, with the temperature, has greatly improved our overall germination rate so far this season. Another good option if you don't have a lot of flats to plant is a heating mat like this. But since for Growing Green Family Farms, at one point in time, I think we had about 18 flats of peppers and tomatoes over the course of 2 weeks. And it just would not be as economical because each of these mats uses 17.5 watts, whereas that is for 1 flat. 25 watts does for 4 flats, which is much more efficient for your energy usage, and you're heating the air as well as media instead of just the media. Heat mats are usually going to be around $25, whereas the thermostat, I believe it had a coupon on Amazon and was about $16 out of pocket. So it's also more inexpensive and should last us many years with the durability that it has to offer. So here you can see we have a beautiful flat of peppers. This is Goddess, which is a nice habanero variety, and this is habanada over here. One thing that is important as soon as you get germination, so when the seedling starts to come up, is you want to take that humidity lid off, because if you keep it on, too high of a humidity point at that point can cause bacteria wilt, and the plant will get really weak right down by the surface of the soil, fall over, and end up dying. Plus, as soon as you have that, it's hard to get rid of it. You have to sterilize everything in the ecosystem. Otherwise, that can actually spread just because of the spores of the bacteria from flat to flat. So, also, as soon as the plants germinate, it's ideal to have nice and short, stocky plants. So you want to get these under lights as soon as possible. So these flats here have been under lights already for about 5 days. And you can see we have tomatoes as well, and how nice and short those are. This is what you're looking for ideally. Sometimes it can be hard to achieve, but keeping your light source as well in close proximity to the plants also helps greatly.
We hope a sneak peek of how we are germinating our tomato, pepper, and eggplant seeds here at the cottage farmstead and for Growing Green Family Farms is helpful. So you can see that there are cheap and effective ways to get your plants started without having to spend a whole lot of money. Catch you next time.